All right, folks, Bloodborne. What the heck is going on? I'm sure fans are asking, and fans, depending on who you are, may be, I don't know, delighted about what Shuhei Yoshida said here, or perhaps they may be disappointed.
Bloodborne has always been the most asked thing. And the people wonder why we haven't really done anything, like even like update,
Yeah.
or
A
remake,
remaster. Yeah.
or remaster.
Yeah.
Should be easy, right?
Yeah.
Kaman
Super easy.
is
Hit the button.
known for doing so many remasters, right?
Yeah.
Some people get frustrated.
He threw a pun in there. This gentleman is really chill, man. Like, I have never really taken time to listen to any interview that he's done. I guess because he probably wasn't doing a lot when he was in his official position, or I just didn't see a lot of it.
Screw him.
Well, I have only my personal theory
Okay.
to that situation. I left first party, so I don't know what's going on.
No one's
But
saying-
my theory is, because I remember, Miyazaki-san really loved Bloodborne, what he created.
I remember, though, when he first presented the reveal of Bloodborne, you could feel that weight. It's an old video. It's a really old video. I remember that video. You could feel the weight of that game. They were happy to have Miyazaki actually make that game for PlayStation, and you could tell that they knew that this was a celeb, like a creativity celeb making this game.
And so I think he is interested, but he's so successful and he's so busy. So he cannot do himself, but he doesn't want anyone else to touch it. So that's my theory.
Bloodborne is a masterpiece. If it has to stay at 30 FPS forever, I strongly believe that is a reality that, fans, depending on where you are willing to live with. However, fans have not decided to live with that reality. There's work on the modding side and on the emulation side that's being done. And I think this is probably one of the biggest challenges with Sony's second-party relationships is, the creativity in many cases depends on where it goes and where it comes from. You have to basically deal with what's going on. Plus, after Elden Ring, I just did not see any way, and I said this to a lot of fans. I was like, guys, I don't think that they're gonna give this game to anybody to go ahead and do. I said this, and again, that was my theory, and this is his theory. This is not necessarily like 100% the reality, but again, this is somebody who probably has a personal relationship with Miyazaki. And I said, number one, From Software is not going to let anybody touch their proprietary software, their development kit. They're not going to let you use their engine just like that. Like, you got to be really somebody. And even right now, PlayStation's not there. Like, they go neck and neck. I told you, Elden Ring was significant for many reasons. Number one, it sold well. That's good. But many people don't realize that Elden Ring came out at the heels of another PlayStation single-player, third-person game. And it bodied it. It bodied Horizon Forbidden West. And if these indicators don't tell you that From Software is a big shot, I don't think anything else will. So it's almost akin to, at this point in time, who's a big director in the movie industry or whatever it is that probably started out maybe doing some, work. It's just like telling James Cameron right now, hey, James, I want you to come over here and help me make, say, I don't know, an anthology to some movie that you made under my behest or whatever. Spielberg's going to look at you like, the heck is wrong with you, bro? I want to go to space. I mean, I said Spielberg. Cameron will look at you and be like, I want to go to space. Did I say Spielberg or Cameron? Anyways, any of those names is probably one of those, but Cameron is the one that comes to mind because he's the one that does a lot of really interesting stuff. That creative, standpoint, that creative mindset. And I think this is what has kept Bloodborne exactly where it is, and more than likely will keep Bloodborne there for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
And the PlayStation team respect his wish. So that's my guess, right? Theory. I'm not revealing any secret information.
No.
To be clear.
Hopefully, Jordan Midler will still make an article about it, but I understand you're not revealing anything. To take that in a different direction and pull a thread you just put out there, you talk about PlayStation respecting the creator enough not just to go make someone else make it or stuff like that.
Which probably means, in my mind, if he puts it this way, it means the original agreement doesn't include much in terms of extending stuff. And there's also the aspect of, like I said, in my mind, and I don't know why I feel really strong about this hypothesis, is that their own proprietary engine, where it is right now, is a very valuable item. When Japan Studio was actually helping with the game, I watched a lot of interviews and stuff. A lot of the folk from Japan Studio were working in the producer, category. They were more like producers. Like, I don't think they were really inside of the technical core of From Software's team. I don't think so. So that particular game engine, in order for you to say somebody else should do a remaster, you have to give them assets, and more than likely you got to give them code. And code's got to make sense, which means that code will have to be compiled under the engine, and that puts that stuff out there. And I don't think From Software is interested in doing that. That company wants to maintain a strong position at the end of the day.
How much is respect in the conversation when PlayStation is making games? Because I think all the time of I feel like even when you were in charge, it would have been your prerogative to tell Naughty Dog, don't worry about The Last of Us, keep making Uncharted. Or don't worry about going back to Uncharted, keep making Last of Us. Where do you, because you worry about the business point, because you are a business, it is a business to make video.
Well, I mean, I think those conversations are dynamic. I understand what is being asked here, but in all reality, the creatives usually, depending on how successful they've been, they usually get a lot of leeway. And I think this is exactly where, in this particular scenario, Miyazaki would probably have the world in this regard, and any big creator would also have the world. You can see the way that PlayStation gives Neil Druckmann a lot of leeway, the way they give Cory Barlog a lot of leeway. These guys have established and built them, billions and billions of dollars collectively anyways, of IP in terms of sales, in terms of revenue. So they'll get a lot more concession in any regard if they decide that there's something that they want to or not do, because they're MVPs, they're committed, they're company men. At this point, they're almost at the level of entrepreneur. Basically, they drive the business forward, and PlayStation understands that. They're not your other guy on the street, that they have to question where their loyalties lie. So if PlayStation says they respect a creator's wishes for something, they do. Like God of War Ragnarok, when Cory Barlog said he wanted to step down as being creative director for for God of War Ragnarok, there was no question. You know what I mean? Like, they gave it to somebody else, and he's still, basically top dog in the studio in other capacities. So you can already see how they do stuff like that. Now with Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann, I guess that one's going to be very interesting to see how Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, does. But I think Bloodborne, and right now exactly where they are, really does resonate with exactly what's going on in terms of, the game, and why there has not been a remaster or a sequel or a, remake or whatever it is. But I wanted to go ahead and kind of share that and share my perspective on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for, watching the video. And yes, it'll probably sell a bunch in today's day, but Miyazaki understands that. And I'm sure somewhere, somehow, Miyazaki does not want his game. I say I'm sure. Let me dial that back. In my honest opinion, I think Miyazaki would not want for his game to be an exclusive game. I think that arrangement was probably one that was probably of necessity. They probably were going to gain a benefit from it. But knowing now the potential of what their games can do, an exclusive deal is just not, it won't be in the question in my mind from any wise perspective. That's my thought on this matter. Thanks for watching. Peace out.